warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello there, I'm Fa. In this video, I want to report my small-scale research about the comparison of English curriculum for upper primary schools in the Indonesian context and in the Australian context. There has been a long debate on the teaching English for young learners, especially in Indonesia, where English is considered as a foreign language because English is not used as the language of daily communication. For the context where English is spoken as the official language of the country like Australia, English is learned as a second language or an additional language. This present study shown in this video investigated first the characteristic of ESL teaching and learning in Australia, especially in upper elementary schools. Second, compare those characteristics to Indonesian context with the same level of students. And three, discover the teaching practices which might be able to be learned and applied in Indonesian context from the Australian context. This study employed a qualitative approach, and the data were analyzed descriptively. The data were collected by reviewing the document of Indonesian elementary school-based curriculum and Australian curriculum of the Victorian Essential Learning Standards (VELS) for ESL students, and reviewing teaching documents from an Indonesian elementary school. The third, taking notes in ESL classroom observations from an Australian elementary schools for year 4, 5, and 6. The subject of this study were two quality private Islamic primary schools, one in Indonesia and one from Australia. The results show that the goals of ESL in primary school in Australia was seen from the different stages of ESL learning. That middle to upper primary for year 3 to year 6 had 3 stages. They are B1, B2, and B3. The learning focus of the stage B1 was that students started to learn the basic English essential in the context of classroom routine and learning through a variety of structured activities. For B2, students continued to develop the oral English language skills needed to participate effectively in the classroom. For B3, students communicated in the full range of classroom contexts, clarifying and sharing ideas. The similarities and differences for upper elementary curriculum in Indonesia and Australia can be seen in this table. From the goal, Australian curriculum, the goals are to speak English, to read and write English, to continue students learning in all learning areas through English at the same time as they are learning English, and finally to learn about the Australian school system. While the goals in Indonesian curriculum first is to develop the basic communicative competence orally and limited to language accompanying action in the school context, and second to build awareness of essential and importance of English to enhance the nation's competitive power in the global community. In terms of standard to achieve, the Australian curriculum is based or divided into 3 dimensions: speaking and listening, reading and writing, and the standards are based on the classroom context, while Indonesian curriculum divided into 4 skills, and the standards are based on the classroom, school, and learner's environment context. In the assessments, a VLS website provides some samples of assessments for ESL and mainstream students. However, ESL students should be assessed differently from mainstream students. ESL students should follow the ESL development continuum, whereas students might move from beginning level to progress toward level, then standard level, differently from one to another. In Indonesian assessment, students' progresses were always monitored by giving regular exercises, midterm tests, and final tests. And there were some criteria students have to achieve as indicators for their successful learning. From the observation notes conducted in gathering data for this study, there are some interesting characteristics of classroom practices. First is a special room called ESL classroom, which was located inside the school library. The room was only used when ESL students were new arrivals, or when it is not possible for them to do the task in the mainstream classroom. The second is few students but big classroom. And the third is the ESL teachers or teachers' aides who had similar roles to the English teachers but focus more on those ESL students by sitting near them. And the last is the complete facilities for each classroom. Now we come to conclusion and recommendation. First, students in ESL contexts were divided into special stages, and they may move stages differently from one another. This characteristic may motivate and encourage students to learn English in their style, to succeed, and to learn at their own pace. Second, it is apparent that TFL and ESL curriculum and classroom practices have both similarities and differences. Third, teachers in EFL context can also give more attention and assistance to low achievers as the attention given to new ESL students. And fourth, it is recommended for future researchers to focus on specific element of the curriculum or classroom practice to gain deeper and more detailed results. That's all my video. I hope the information from this video is beneficial. Thank you for watching. Bye for now. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.